When somebody writes you off and they stop sending resources, then that's when you suffer more loss. So I don't want anybody to look at this situation and say, because there's no abortion in Alabama anymore, that there's no point in doing anything there at all. Because you sacrifice so many people when you do that. Or the fact that, Alabama criminalizes folks with transgender children seeking care. Like, I don't want anybody to look at us and write us off so those families suffer. If we've lost something, I need you to reinvest in Alabama so we can fight it.
Double down.
Double down. This is not the opportunity to quit. This is the opportunity to fight harder, to send more resources, to help us even more, because we've made it very clear, especially in Alabama, if it happens here, it's headed your way.
Exactly. Robin, you've actually made this point that you are spending your resources at your clinic doing whatever you can do at this point, and it's quite possible your resources will entirely dry up.
Yes.
And that's the problem, right? That if people think there's no hope, why would I send my money?
Yeah. That still makes me emotional. Thanks. We have made a commitment in this moment after Roe that we are going to do the most good that we can for the most people that we can until we can't anymore. We don't know what the future is going to look like. Maybe abortion will come back. I really hope so. There's also just as likely a possibility that birth control will disappear. We are not going to hoard any resources. We are going to make sure that every healthcare need is met, and we will do it on a sliding scale. We will do it for free. We will do prenatal care. We're going to keep going, and I will sit and raise as much money as possible to keep it going. And the side effect of it is that we are going to be a place that people can come to if they do decide that they are going to try to terminate their own pregnancy and they're afraid to go to a hospital. We are going to be a place where people can come to if they are experiencing a miscarriage and are bleeding and they're afraid to go to the hospital, or even worse, they go to the hospital and they sit in an emergency room for hours and just leave, because we've already seen that happen multiple times. We're going to be there for those people for as long as we can, because honestly, there's no one left for them.
And I think if any of the Alabama legislators, if the Attorney General wanted to come see what I do, see what I face, see the people that they govern, that they are passing laws about, and the real life situations, they might have a different song to sing. The problem is they don't understand. They are passing laws having no understanding of what is the reality of passing those laws. Would you board a plane whose pilot didn't have a license? Would you get on that plane?
No.
That would be insane, wouldn't it? What we have are unlicensed people without medical training, without medical licenses, telling those with training and with licenses how to fly the plane. I think there's a significant gap of understanding what all of this means, and it's not a hard gap to fill. You just got to listen to us. We'll tell you what's happening.
What do you say to them? The people who are not necessarily bad faith actors, but they're not where you are on this.
If I were reaching out to people who think that abortion is something that should be illegal, something that is immoral, what I would tell them is that every person at some point is going to need an abortion or know somebody who is going to need an abortion. There is no such thing as a safe pregnancy. Every pregnancy has the potential at some point in there to end up in a complication that could put that person who is carrying that pregnancy, put their life in jeopardy. So abortion can never be completely gone. But we can work together on goals that will make sure that there is less abortion. And if nothing else has become clear since this has begun, it's that the same people who are introducing these bans that are making things so restricted are not doing anything to try to stop people from needing abortion in the first place. They're not investing in people who want to parent. They're not doing anything to make sure that there is ample birth control available for people who do not want to get pregnant in the first place. We can work on those issues together, because even if they don't believe in abortion, I believe that they firmly believe that every person should only have children when they are prepared for it, and then be fully supported when they do have those children in order to make sure that everyone has a good life.
Janice, are you okay with that argument? In other words, are you okay with saying, all right, if that's your goal, that you think there shouldn't be abortions. You're not working toward that goal with the laws that you've got in Alabama or with the collapse of Roe v. Wade, because you've illustrated you've got high maternal death rates here, you've got high poverty rates, you're not helping anybody be a parent, and you're making it hard to get contraception.
I'm definitely on the pessimistic side of that. I don't want to hear it. It's a death threat for Black women. I don't want to hear it. They're not anywhere championing us getting better health care services when we're in hospitals. They're not anywhere challenging the HR and their stigmatized services that affect Black families. I don't want to hear it.
So you don't think that's a fruitful road to go down?
Oh, absolutely. But am I willing to have that conversation with people that disagree? No, because this is it's a death threat. And so we have to organize in a way that's very indicative of people will die from this. And so I don't have time for the conversation with people that are opposed. That work is very important. I really admire people that are taking that route. And also, I'm not talking to antis about how we get there because they're deliberately obtuse. They know.
What do you do now? What does this fight look like to you?
We'll fight like hell. That's what we're going to do. We're going to fight with every breath of our bodies because, when you take those calls at a clinic and you could help the patient on the other end of the phone and we can't provide that care anymore, it goes all the way through your soul. And, it could be your daughter, it could be your granddaughter that won't have access to this care. So we're in the fight. We all are, and we're going to do what we can to make sure that this does not stay law forever.